This area you are observing is representative of a small section of terrain in a combat area. The series of events you are about to witness could very well occur there or anywhere under the conditions that often exist in war. Members of these U.S. Army rifle squads, as well as others, have been victims of the harassing activities of that small enemy force. The leaders of these troops are well trained for the job to be done. All have had many months of experience fighting the difficult hit-and-run type of warfare the enemy has waged from the beginning. In briefing his men during mission preparation, Lieutenant Cooper reviewed the rules of engagement and later gave these final instructions to his two squad leaders.
Okay, now when you get across the stream, set up security. And remember, fire only when fired upon or at my command. There's no point in letting the enemy know where we are until we've got them where we want them. Now, are you clear on what we're going to do?
Yes, sir.
Nothing out of line, Crowley. All right, come on, let's go.
Lieutenant Cooper has made it his business to know his men. He knows that except for the few recent replacements, his men have seen action almost daily for weeks now. 2 or 3, including Sergeant Crowley, have begun to show disturbing signs of the severe stress that fear, fatigue, and battlefield noise can produce in some men. Acting on orders, the mission of these men today is to search out the guerrillas, to engage and eliminate hostile resistance, and to capture as many of the enemy as possible.
Weapon! Your men are bunching up. Keep them spread out. Right side.
Never relax your guard over your captives for a single moment.
Where's your base camp? Where is it? Kungkuadu! Where is it? I said, where is it? Kungkuadu! Go, man!
Talendo! Move out!
Move out here.
Stand up. Put your hands over here. Over here.
Put our rifle. Adler, search the PW.
As soon as the tactical situation permits, the prime task for troops taking captives is for them to apply the 5S rule of prisoner handling. Each detainee, including women and children, must be thoroughly searched and disarmed. They should be segregated if possible. Officers and non-commissioned officers, if any. Other enlisted personnel, male civilian detainees, and women and children. Meanwhile, medical aid must be given the enemy wounded to the same extent and with the same care we provide our own men. Silence is part of the 5S rule. Detainees should not be allowed to talk to each other in order to prevent them from planning escape or otherwise threatening your security. In accord with the rule, the captives must be safeguarded against mistreatment, violence, and danger of any kind. And they must be evacuated from the battle area as swiftly, safely, and humanely as conditions will permit. A detainee card must be filled out for each detainee, indicating the captive's name, the date, time, point of capture, plus other pertinent information. All items taken from the detainee, such as arms, military documents, and military equipment, must be listed. All articles of personal use remain in possession of the detainee. So do his clothing, money, insignia of rank and nationality, and articles of sentimental value. He also retains items issued for his personal protection, such as a protective mask and a metal helmet, if any. Female captives must be given treatment as favorable as that granted to male captives, as well as the special care due their sex. Captured members of an enemy armed force are usually the only ones categorized as prisoners of war. Other captives are considered detainees until a competent interrogator or tribunal determines their actual status. In this area, where enemy soldiers often wear the dress of the peasants, all U.S. troops are under orders to treat all captives as prisoners of war, regardless of any suspicion that they may be spies, criminals, saboteurs, or anything else.
Where's your base camp? Show me where it is. I said show me where your base camp is.
What's up, Keach?
This damn he's got a map, shows where the hell his base camp is, and he won't tell me.
Oh, yeah? McKenna, go help Lamanna with a wounded d.
Right, Sergeant.
Let me see that.
Because of this improper and dangerous diversion, Sergeant Crowley and Specialist Keach are violating a cardinal rule that capturing troops must consistently follow. Never relax your guard over your captives for a single moment.
Now, where's your base camp? Where is it? Kunkuadu! Where is it? I said, where is it? Kunkuadu! You dirty, rotten d... Give me that 16.
Crowley! What's going on here?
Keach found this map on the creep. We just asked him to tell us where Space Camp was.
All he has to tell you is his name, rank, service number, and date of birth. You know that. Just turn that map in with the rest of the stuff taken from this PW and let intelligence ask the questions.
You should have been a chaplain, Sarge. You're a real righteous freak.
Look, Crowley, I don't know what's got you so uptight lately, but if it's about having your buddy wiped out, beating up on a bunch of unarmed people isn't going to bring him back to life.
No, the damn that got to him. What am I supposed to do? Kiss him for it?
No. Just treat him like you'd want to be treated if you were their prisoner.
Like the good old Geneva Conventions, right, Sarge? Like the lousy Geneva Conventions.
Getting your butt thrown into a stockade for breaking the rules ain't going to bring your friend back, Crowley. I'm going down to see Weber and see how his men are doing. I'll be back, and real soon.
Guy's been on my back a hell of a lot lately.
Forget it, Sarge. You'll be retired in a month.
Yeah. Him and his damn Geneva Conventions.
The broad purpose of the 4 international treaties known as the Geneva Convention for the Protection of War Victims is to extend protection and humane treatment to the sick, the wounded, and the helpless, including detainees. Recognized as binding on their military forces by most nations of the world, the Geneva Conventions are intended to protect the basic human rights of prisoners of war, as well as of civilians caught in the turmoil of war.
Take cover!
Keach, go find out what the hell's going on.
Right, Sarge.
Soldiers of all armies are trained to attempt escape if captured. The Geneva Convention, relative to the treatment of prisoners of war, states that no more force than is needed to recapture the escapee should be used. If, during the attempt to escape, the PW endangers someone's life and limb and is recaptured, he may be tried and severely punished by the proper authorities, not by the capturing troops. If, however, the escapee has committed no violence on anyone, upon recapture he may then only be disciplined, again by the proper authorities and not by the capturing troops.
Throw on your pistol. Shut thy shoe. Shut thy shoe.
Lamana!
He pulled his gun on us, trying to resist capture, understand?
He threw his gun away. He surrendered.
Look, Lamana, don't make me have to teach you to keep your trap shut about something that's none of your business, you hear? Now let's split.
Sergeant Crowley is trying to alibi away his own acts. He has committed a flagrant crime. The murder of any unarmed person is not only a grave breach of the Geneva Conventions, but a felony under our laws. Commanders are interested in taking live captives because they represent a loss in force for the enemy. What is more important, detainees offer our side a source of military intelligence, intelligence that could be vital to our tactical planning, strategy, and the survival of our troops.
Hey, Sarge, Morton got hit in the leg. We got him down to the LZ. He wants to see you, Sarge.
What the hell for?
I don't know. The creep didn't say. Hey, what happened to the dick you went after?
He resisted capture. Right, Lamana? Keep your eye on this guy, Keach. He's had some indoctrination today you won't find in any damn book.
Right, Sarge.
Sergeant Crowley is attempting to browbeat PFC Lamana into silence. He knows that every U.S. soldier has a duty to report every crime he sees committed or suspects was committed.
Roger, out. Dustoff says medevac chopper's on his way, Sergeant.
You tell him that the lieutenant's hurt bad.
Right, Sergeant.
So you got busted up too, Sarge?
I'll live. I don't know about him, though.
Look, Crowley. With the lieutenant and me being evacuated, Weber will be in charge. You have some enemy casualties, right?
2 now. When the firing started over this way, a dick pulled a pistol from somewhere, nicked one of my men.
You bring the enemy casualties down here. And from here on, Crowley, you better make sure that you take good care of the rest of those prisoners.
You betcha.
Weber. Weber! Get Crowley back here.
Sanders?
No, I want you to go. I want to make sure he gets back here.
Right, Sarge.
Sergeant Morton realizes that telling Crowley to take good care of the captives is an unclear order. Most soldiers will understand the order to mean the captives should be treated properly as human beings. If orders are unclear, a soldier must and will ask for clarification. To a man in Crowley's present frame of mind, however, the order could mean just one thing: kill the detainees.
Weber. Weber!
Now what, Sarge?
Look, Crowley, I want your men and the PWs down here. I want those prisoners brought down here unharmed. You hear?
Yeah, I hear. Is that all?
It better be.
Keach, get all the men down to the LZ, on the double.
Right, Sarge.
You stay, Lamana. I got a real out-of-sight job for you. Lieutenant Cooper and Sergeant Morton both got hit. But the lieutenant said for you to take care of the PW and to use 2 magazines.
I don't know what you mean.
Sure you do. Just do it.
Hey, wait a minute, Sarge. The woman and child, too? I can't do that. That's murder.
It's a tough war, isn't it, soldier? It's amazing how a guy can get shot in the back around here without anybody ever knowing who did it. Get it on, man. When I come back, I want to see how good you've done.
Any order to commit a crime, not just murder, but any crime, is a criminal order. Every soldier given a clearly criminal order has a duty to refuse to obey that order. PFC Lamanna was given such an order and acted properly when he asked his squad leader to clarify the order. Under the Geneva Conventions, the enemy sick and wounded must be evacuated to a military medical facility with the same speed and consideration we provide our own troops when wounded.
Where's your casualty? What happened to Crawley? I don't know. I'll go check. Now, we can't hold this up if the lieutenant's hurt too bad. Clear the area. Tell him what happened and send him to the chopper fast.
It is a serious crime to fire upon any person, vehicle, aircraft, or structure legally and visibly marked with the Red Cross symbol.
Lamanna! Don't you understand a direct order when you get one?
I don't have to follow an order like that, and you know it. And why should I butcher these people? They're helpless and defenseless now.
Because they butchered Adams, the best friend I ever had. And like they just shot down a medevac chopper with a bunch of defenseless casualties aboard.
I still won't do it. I can't.
It takes courage to disobey a criminal order, but no soldier should let anyone force him to commit a crime.
All right, on your feet. Up! Up! Move it, damn it! That's for Adams, and that's for the chopper, and that's for me! They were trying to escape, weren't they? You saw it. They were trying to escape. That's what you say if anybody asks, you hear? Now let's get down to the LZ and remember what I said.
Taking revenge upon unarmed enemy or civilian personnel for the criminal acts of enemy forces is a crime under international law. Equally important is the fact that we, as Americans, must set high standards of humane treatment for our detainees and not lower our values by duplicating an enemy's criminal behavior.
Colonel Beckwith, Captain Frederick. I want to alert you to the fact that 2 of my men are facing very serious charges.
And that, sir, is what happened, and why I asked permission to see you.
Does anyone else know about these killings?
Well,
I must know, Lamanna.
Sergeant Crowley sent Specialist Keach to warn me not to say anything, so I guess he knows about it.
I see. You're right to bring this to my attention. Legally, you couldn't do anything else. It's every soldier's obligation to report criminal orders and crimes. According to the law, any person who knowingly hides the fact that a crime is committed is also guilty. This way, you're in the clear.
Frankly, sir, I didn't know what to do. I was caught in the middle between the threats and what I felt I should do.
I know. Now, if these charges are true, you're to be commended. In the meantime, while these charges are being investigated, I'd advise you to mention the incidents only to the proper authorities. I'm going to send you out to battalion for your written statement. Sergeant Evans?
Yes, sir.
I want you to take Lamanna to Colonel Beckwith at battalion and arrange for Sergeant Crowley and Specialist Keach to report to me.
Very well, sir. I'll do it immediately.
Tiger 6, please. Colonel Beckwith, please. Colonel Beckwith? Captain Fredericks. I want to alert you to the fact that 2 of my men are facing very serious charges. Sergeant Crowley for the alleged murder of an escapee and several detainees, and Specialist Keach for failure to report his knowledge of the alleged crime. Yes, sir. A man in my company by the name of Lamanna reported it to me. Sir, I'm sending PFC Lamanna to you with Sergeant Evans for his statement. Yes, sir. I'm writing up the report now, sir. Thank you, sir. That'll be all, Lamanna.
Once the battle is over, your captives, some of whom have been shooting at you and shooting to kill, must nevertheless be treated firmly but humanely for as long as they are in your hands, regardless of their race, nationality, sex, religion, language, or customs. Your best approach to your captives is the 5S rule of prisoner handling. Search them thoroughly for arms, military documents, and military equipment. Never for a moment relax your guard over them. Segregate them as best you can into officers, non-commissioned officers, enlisted men, civilian men, women, and children. Meanwhile, give their wounded the same medical aid you provide your own casualties. Maintain silence among your detainees. Treat them all equally as prisoners of war, and speed them from the battle area to the collecting point as quickly as conditions will permit. Safeguard them from harm every step of the way. Bear in mind that even as captives, they are still human beings who retain the basic right to live, to be treated decently, to be safe from torture, mutilation, humiliation, and all other degrading or violent acts. Also, remember detainees may have information that can be vital to your survival and that of others. Under the Geneva Conventions, a PW may attempt escape. If in his attempt he injures other persons, he can, when recaptured, be punished for any crimes by proper authorities, not by the capturing troops. Using more force than is necessary to recapture the escapee is a crime. The murder of any unarmed person is clearly a felony. Firing on any person or anything legitimately marked with the Red Cross symbol is also a crime. Our nation upholds the Geneva Conventions. All violations of international law by a U.S. soldier are violations of our own laws, laws that subject the soldier to court-martial and punishment equal to the seriousness of the crime or offense he committed. While an unclear order should never be given, a soldier has a right and duty to ask that such an order be clarified. Not only must he follow this same procedure when given a clearly criminal order, but he has, in addition, the duty to disobey that order. It is the duty of every soldier to report a crime he sees committed or suspects was committed, and any criminal order which may have resulted in a criminal act. The rules and laws you are required to observe demand that you leave the killing on the battlefield against enemy hostile forces. And once the enemy has fallen into your hands, that you follow the basic standards of humanity. You can't go wrong if you make this your personal motto. Treat others as humanely as you would have them treat you.